The following program may contain adult language and mature subject matter and does not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Reality Radio 101, its advertisers and sponsors, or its listening audience. Listener discretion is strongly advised. Welcome to Ladies Night In and Out with your host, Jen Hazzard, right here on Reality Radio 101. To contact Jen right now, dial 905-725-1907. Toll free 1-866-905-7325. Worldwide 1-866-656-5477. Email Jen, realityradio101 at yahoo.com.
My eyes are burning as I feel alive. This rays a cast away deep tonight. I love my anger and I love to hate. It's not enough, it's never too late. We'll give it back.
And now, your host of Ladies Night In and Out, Jen Hazzard.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Coming to you live from Toronto, Canada. You're listening to Ladies Night In and Out. And we have an extra person in the room tonight. There are 6 ladies that will be doing the show tonight. And the first one, last week, or last month, I guess, Jenny managed to fill in, Jenny Huggins.
Yes.
And at the last minute. And she enjoyed it so much. And I thought, she was an excellent contributor to the show as well, and we invited her back. So hello, Jenny.
Good evening, ladies, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well this evening. I'm excited again to be here. This is great.
And I tell you, the feedback I got after the show, everyone, what a sexy voice.
Stop.
Well,
we
got 4 emails that said they want to do her.
Oh yeah. It was like that voice, I tell you, eh? And then next we have Nancy Dranitsaris, and our no stranger, one of our regular ladies, psychotherapist, workshop leader, karaoke singer, which we will be talking about. Yes, and many hats as well. And thanks for being here, Nancy.
You're welcome. Hi, everybody. Glad to be here. Woohoo!
And Teresa Commodaro, the owner of SugarMySkin.com, and also she makes fabulous jewelry. And welcome, Teresa.
Thanks a lot. I'm sorry I missed you all last month. I just could not get pulled away. It's great to be here. Nice to meet you, Jenny.
And you as well.
I have to say that her face is just as awesome as her voice.
Thank you very much.
And nice to see the rest of the ladies. Gary, of course. And hi. Hello, listeners.
And Amanda Baxter. And Amanda is the young one in the group. And I keep bringing that up. Sorry about that, Amanda. But
I don't know why you keep bringing it up.
She's actually blushing a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, she's our different. Because I believe that at different ages we have different ideas, different opinions, and that sort of thing. And
indeed,
yeah. So again, hi, Amanda.
Hi. I'm glad I'm back. I missed last month's show as well. I was busy. I got called into work last minute, so
yeah.
Got to do what you got to do.
Yes, and we're glad you're back too.
Yeah, it's nice to meet Jenny.
Nice to meet you as well.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And the men have, just to fill in some of the listeners, the boys' night in, which is next Wednesday from 8 to 10. There's traditionally 7 men. So I thought, let's try it with 6 and see how it goes. Maybe even sometime we'll try it with 7 and test that out for a little while. And next we have Karen McBride, Between Dreams, owner of Between Dreams. She
Yes, it is.
You do Akashic readings? Akashic readings, past life regression, regular psychic readings as well.
Yeah, mediumship readings. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And life coaching and all that kind of juicy stuff.
Yeah.
Vibrational transformation.
What is vibrational transformation?
Vibrational transformation is releasing our densities, which is our negative emotions that we've been storing inside our bodies, because energy never stops. It just changes form. And when we suppress emotions and angers and what have you, events that happen that create all these emotions, and we just keep suppressing it, it's got to change into something. It's because energy doesn't stop, and energy in motion is emotion. So we have all of this stored emotion, and I don't even like to call it negative emotion, because energy doesn't have a negative attitude to it. It's humans that label it, because our emotions are there for us to learn, and they warn us of things like our fears and our angers tell us when we don't like this, and that's just what do we do with that is the issue. And so vibrational transformation releases all of that. It brings all of those up so that they can go, and that's hence enlightened.
Oh, very good. And what sort of techniques would you use to do that?
Hypnosis works, NLP works, timeline therapy works, and music. The crystal bowls or all that kind of stuff also works. There's certain vibrations, because everything is energy. Everything runs on a vibration, including, obviously music. And it will actually break up densities in our bodies and release it. This way, so many people are so attracted to music in different stages of your life as well. You'll be attracted to different types of music, and now that I'm a new ager, I'm like all that new age stuff.
It's almost like being attracted to certain gemstones because of their vibrational energy. And when I do the chakra balancing, I know I'm raising the person's vibration along with mine. So I mean, I'm not a healer by all means.
Sure you are.
Yes, you are.
We're
sure you are.
Definitely.
No, we're both raising the vibrations at the same time. We're healing each other. You're your own healer.
Yeah, absolutely. You're still a healer, though.
Well, you don't need somebody to fix your vibration.
No, you don't, because we're not broken.
Definitely, it's something that you could do it all on your own with the thought process for sure. But with the gemstones and the chakra balancing, I run the quantum touch, and that's energetic clearing right there.
Yeah,
it's this intense breath work that goes on.
Yep.
So I know what you're saying by clogged spaces, right? So for example, your throat chakra, you go through it and you find that the person's throat chakra is a little bit clogged. They're not saying what they want to say. So they're holding...
They're not speaking their truth. They're not...
So the dense energy that you're talking about, what you want to say, you're not saying
sticks
it.
There.
When you go to their solar plexus, that's our gut feeling. That gut feeling that we just... And we ignored it or whatever.
Right.
So that's... Our solar plexus will get all,
gummed
up.
Yeah.
So I can totally relate to what you're saying. It's an energy modality. It's a different form of... But it sounds very interesting.
Yeah, Amanda and I were talking before the show started, and this is, a lot of people look externally to heal internally.
Correct.
And they don't need to.
No.
All that go within thing. It's exactly what it is go within, because we can release our own. What I'm finding is a lot of people always look for the external. They're looking to buy that perfect book. They're looking to buy that perfect crystal, or smell the perfect incense, or when I get this perfect music, then I'll be able to let this go and let that go. And you don't need any of that stuff. You don't need any of that stuff. You just have to release it in yourself and just acknowledge. Acknowledgement releases so much.
And writing, journaling.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and that's, again, the acknowledgement, right?
And some people like the retail therapy.
Oh, yeah. Believe me, I just did a show on the weekend. People like their retail therapy, at least in Ontario.
I feel so much better.
I just participated, and I was asked to go to a seminar for this place called Landmark. It's in Toronto.
Okay.
Nancy, I wanted to... I knew somebody was going to...
Est? You mean the whole brainwashing? They don't let you go to the bathroom. They don't let you drink, eat, blah,
it's a
blah,
cult.
blah.
Right.
Yes, it's a cult.
Wow.
Yes.
Nobody can let me do anything.
So it's funny because this girl, she's she's a lovely, lovely human being, and she has. She invited me to go to this open, like an open forum, just to register. And you had to listen to them for 2 hours, and you have to like write on a piece of paper this pamphlet. They ask you questions about like, what type of person are you now? What do you want to let go of? And you write this all down, and you're talking freely to these strangers, which is fine for me. But then at the end of it, they say, so by the way, to register, it's $650, and it's a weekend away in Toronto, which big deal. But you go and you're there for almost 12 hours every day. And basically, it's just supposed to be like life coaching. But you get so, I think, monetarily involved with these people that you've sunk yourself into a hole, and then your stress is supposed to go away. Maybe you have issues with money to begin with,
That's
but
not going to help.
No, I found it to be very. I was not trying to be naive, but I definitely was. What's the word I'm looking for?
You were open-minded.
Open-minded.
Yes, to listening to what they were saying. Yeah.
Yeah, but at the end, it was like, so I'll be standing in this kitchen waiting for you to give me your visa number and register, and the next session is blah blah blah, and I said, well, I'll have to think about dropping almost $1,000 to go and take this maybe life-changing course, but then.
I think for some people it really is life-changing. So people who I know have done it swear by it, but I've tasted some of these programs like the Millionaire Mindset, and it's the same sort of idea, and what they're trying to do is kind of change your thinking. But what I understand with Landmark in those intensive weekends is they actually keep you in a place for 12 hours, and they don't let you do things like go to the bathroom. So it's a way of trying. The idea is they're breaking down your defenses so that they can easily get in and change your mindset and change, with the idea that they're going to help you grow and develop. But the other thing I've seen, I did a weekend a few years ago of the Millionaire Mindset, and what I saw was, this whole opening. People open up and they share what's inside them. They feel understood. They feel validated, which a lot of us don't on our own. And then, I saw somebody talk, a woman who supposedly had no money, but she was an author, and this course out in California would be so good. And she stood up, and they talked her into going to California, and she ran over, and a whole bunch of other people ran over and signed up right away. And my concern is, this is a plant in the audience who's like, oh, well, he's convinced her now. And it's kind of, whether there is value to it or not, I think the methods of selling people and the idea of you overextend yourself financially and you make yourself that vulnerable and put so much faith into them.
Right.
And then they just keep signing you up for more and more. And if you don't participate, well, you're just stuck in your stuff. Because I got told that, because there was one thing that I felt that was just not appropriate, and I wouldn't participate in it. And I was told that I was just stuck in my stuff, and I was just sitting there going, really?
How can you concentrate when your bladder is full?
Well, I know.
Holding it for 6 hours. Are you kidding me?
But it risks,
what kind of barbaric
shame.
Yeah.
It risks shame. It makes you vulnerable. It makes you low blood sugar. The actual weekend of the Millionaire Mindset you don't pay for, but the other one, the Landmark, you do. Right. But I think it's, there's this idea that you come over to their way of thinking and you clear your issues. And they do this by wearing you down to that place where you're really, really raw and really suggestible. Right. They can, use the power of suggestion. I'm not sure about the intention. I know they make an awful lot of money.
And if they make so much money, then how come the people that want to do this but can't afford it still, is there no subsidy? I mean, I didn't even inquire anymore. I was just like, this is,
Yeah, no, there's
sounds like a cult to me for sure.
I've been to the Millionaire Mind things as well. Plus, I was also part of the Karma Crew once. So there are no plants. I know that part of it. But still, they just they feed off of the vulnerable people, and that's the ones that they talk into signing up for the quantum program, which is $15,000, and you and you get all the programs, but you only get a certain amount of time to do it, and if you don't put them all in within 2 years, and we're talking like Nancy said, traveling to California, traveling to BC for the Warrior program, and all of these things. You're traveling so it's not just the $15,000 either. You're paying on top of that. Now you've got flights and hotels and all that kind of stuff as well on top of that. And if you don't fit them in, you lose them. That's it.
So you need to be a millionaire to do it in the first place.
Yeah.
Well, you need to put your faith in their process, and I think for a lot of people, it gives them a sense of belonging and a sense of that they're part of something bigger than themselves, and they put faith into it, and that's you see that. I mean, I saw people who were in there, and they were really opening up emotionally on the second and third days, and sort of opening to some of their own pain and letting go and talking about it, which was really cleansing. But you get to that place of feeling really good, and then they hit you with the hard money sale.
Right, yeah, exactly.
So you get that feeling, and you want to continue that feeling, but in order to continue that feeling, you have to pay.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I know people who have gone through it, and from my experience, the people who benefit most from it are the people who don't actually want to go inside and do their inner work. They want to think themselves through their emotional stuff. And and to be fair, there are many people like that. Mm-hmm. And like I know a couple who have done the entire program, and they are super positive and super pumped and super focused on success, and it's great for them. But I don't think it works for everybody, and especially people who are already struggling financially. Mm-hmm. I think it's kind of negligent, but that's just my opinion, to to say, pay this money and here's your miracle.
Yeah, because you're still stuck in your stuff, Nancy.
But
apparently. That's okay. That's one learner.
It's not that you're strong-minded and you stood your ground, and it's nothing about that.
No, because that was just because I'm stuck in my stuff.
Stuck in your stuff.
Well, I'm glad I brought it up, because I knew that when I was going through this, and I was thinking like, oh my God, Nancy's gonna love this. Like I was,
Thanks, Amanda.
I was right on it too. You had lots to say, which is great.
Thank you for thinking of me.
Well,
the segue.
Yeah. So it was. I didn't sign up.
No. I think there's so many. A positive attitude is so important, but there's lots of free ways to get it. There's lots of great books out there,
and success, right? Success can mean so many different things.
Right.
And
What's it look like to each person?
What is it? A big house and all the bells and whistles and toys?
Is it a guy? Is it
big
whatever?
SUV and the drive? Like, what's success anyway? Like, I feel very successful, and
any day on the side of the grass, we're all successful.
I can't sign up for this program either.
Yeah.
I think I'm successful.
Yeah, and you would think, if their mission is to truly uplift people,
yes,
and inspire people, that they would have some sort of a scholarship program. I know Dale Carnegie was the first so-called. I mean, we've had the Secret come out,
Napoleon
which was commercially successful, and all different sort of programs and that. But I know Dale Carnegie did have a scholarship program. And a lot of his teachings, he wanted to spread it to as many people as he could. And there's a lot in our programming that gets in the way of the positive messages. We saw this with The Secret. It wasn't long after The Secret came out that at our clinic we developed a program for why The Secret doesn't work. Mm-hmm. And it's all about understanding that our natural programming is there for a reason, and it's going to get in the way. So just telling yourself something is not going to work if you've got a counteractive voice saying, no, it's not true, it's not true. It's like, we need to understand what the contrary voice is doing for us and how it serves us before we can get rid of it. We can't just say, shut up, I won't listen to you, because then that creates an internal conflict. Right. We have to understand that there's a reason that the messages don't, and it's like we have to be able to create the feelings of being successful. Right. That's key.
Imagine it, envision it, and feel it. I have two examples from last week. Can I share?
Yes.
Okay, so 2 weeks ago, It's actually 2 weeks ago now. 2 weeks ago, I did a talk at a women's networking group, the Heart of Networking here in Durham. And I did a talk, and it was half-hour long, and I was feeling so pumped, and I had my favorite song on in the way of the car, and I was envisioning myself getting up and talking, and I got up and talked. And then I bought a 50-50 ticket, and I envisioned myself winning, and I saw myself going up to the front, and I felt like what it was going to feel like to win it. And so as the numbers were being read, we're all standing up, and as people eliminated, they sit down, and I'm sitting there, and I'm looking at this one ticket going, this is going to win, this is going to win. And then they called the last number, and it was the ticket right beside it. And I won, and it was like, oh my God, I envisioned this.
Yes.
And I felt it. It wasn't just, I saw it. It was like I felt the happiness of, woohoo, I won. And I won it. And then I did the same thing with the singing competition that I was in on the following Sunday. I saw myself winning it. I felt what it was going to feel like to be up there. And every time I had a contrary thought, I just went, okay, thank you for your opinion. I appreciate, you don't want me to get my hopes up, et cetera, but I can see myself. And then I did. And it was amazing and wonderful, and it was
congratulations.
Well, thank you. Exactly. But it was like, approaching it with a loving perspective of this is the feeling I want to create.
Right.
So when we're talking about, those the positive thinking, it's like, it's not just thinking. It's
not
the
enough.
feeling. The feelings are what we have to change.
Yeah. And also believing.
Well, you have to change the belief, because the belief creates the thoughts, and then the thoughts is what puts the emotion out there. And if you have a belief that you're never enough or you're never a winner, you can think all you want. You can think it to death.
Yeah.
If you don't come up with that feeling, like Nancy said, you're not going to get anywhere. And this is releasing all those densities that are within us, because you have to change your programming. You can't go from never winning, never making any money, never doing this to being a millionaire. It's not possible.
And the programming is in our emotional brain, like it or not. It's those things we develop to ensure our survival, the habits, the beliefs, the feelings, the relationships. And unless we change the feelings, we're not going to change. And that's what's really exciting, is that all this information about, the energy and stuff, it's like, emotions. We have to look at our emotions. If we want to create these things, we have to look at that. That's where, that's the really exciting stuff.
The definite key is feeling the emotion, believing, having faith, similar to prayer or whatever you want to call, putting out the intentions, mantras, positive thoughts. Yeah. If you believe it, if you feel it, and the other thing too is having the gratitude for it. They say quite often, prayer or positive thought, whatever you want to call it. If you think. If you feel the gratitude and the joy and the positive emotions, then it magnifies what you are looking for, and you are also more likely to get it.
Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. One of the things that I teach my clients who have anxiety is think of 5 things that you're grateful for, because you can't feel anxious and grateful at the same time. So, just putting that together and practicing that every day. What am I grateful for today? And it just, it's like fake it till you make it. Just keep repeating it. And it, eventually you actually really feel the gratitude. It sinks in.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I know Oprah, I think it was the one that started the gratitude book, keeping a gratitude book, a journal, and daily, and writing down the things that you're grateful for. And it's amazing how, something that you could perceive during the day as being negative can turn into for instance, the stormy weather. And it's like, some people would complain about that. But then if you say, I'm grateful that it was raining so that I could accomplish things inside today.
I could have a jammy day.
Yes.
I have a big smile on my face now, because you said something about stormy weather. And my grandmother passed away, a few years ago. And my grandfather always says to me, your grandmother always looked on the bright side of everything. He'd be like, oh, it's raining outside. She said, but the rain helps the flowers in the grass grow.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's just and
rain washes my car.
But I have goosebumps even just repeating those words, because it's just, I think that's how I've now decided to look at life as well. I've really changed my perception of, being negative for so long, carrying all those rocks in my stomach was just, it was so ill, Yeah. And so I started going to yoga, and I detoxed myself quite a bit. There was a lot of crying in class, and I came out and I felt like an idiot, but I was like, no, I'm really actually learning who I am now. You know, it takes a long time, I think, for people that carry so much negative from their past.
Yes. And then
it takes time. It takes time. We really, can I just say, my opinion, and this is just my opinion, we don't stop gathering negative, whether it rightfully belongs to us or it is an environmental factor that we are in the company of or subjected to or whatnot. We don't just, you know what I mean? We don't stop. So it's a continuous development of us. Let's not look at it as a struggle.
Oh, no.
It is a daily development. And getting up in the morning, you should be grateful. When you go out and your car is there and it starts, be grateful. I agree with you. The more gratitude you have, the more you will find. Right. You will find gratitude in a nice kept lawn. You will find gratitude in a crow that's screaming in a tree. You will find many, many things, you know. And what happens is we get too busy. And we get too busy. Right. And as far as these programs to let go and stuff, you know what? I let go with friends and family all the time. I let go by myself in the house with the music going. And you know what? Harboring the negative, we do that too. As much as we want to move it out, there's still stuff that will come back in. And so it's a continuous development, but it's not a bad thing.
I think having any sort of thoughts is what makes you you.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And this is the thing, right? And that's what I'm saying. As far as who we are and what we feel, how we are affected, that belongs to us. And of course, how it affects us and how we deliver that also belongs to us. So we have to work with it. And going to these places and people that want money, listen, if they really genuine, when somebody comes to me and says I'm having a bad day, I don't say it'll cost you $10, but I can sit and listen for an hour and a cup of coffee.
Right.
Well, my chakra balances are by donation.
You know what I mean?
I don't charge.
That's it.
I don't
Never
have
mind.
A set
even
fee for that.
You know, a sliding scale or anything like that. Exactly. You know what?
Sometimes it kills me to see a sign. Spiritual cleansing, 1
you
hour,
know,
$60, and you know, you read a book this weekend, and now you're outside and having a cigarette break.
You're a master.
You're gonna cleanse me.
Yeah, I've been doing readings for years, and I will not and refuse to put $1 on it.
I don't charge either.
Everybody has an. You know what? Nobody charged me. I was not given a price tag when I was given the interests and the things that I have to share. So for me to charge somebody seems very wrong.
But you get so much from it too.
So much.
Your intuition builds, just like with me. Like I was saying, the exchange of energy.
Exactly.
We're both healing.
Exactly.
And I'm done. I am buzzing.
And you feel great. Yeah, buzzing. The vibration that's going on.
Can't pay for a gift from spirit.
I think that all depends too, whether you're doing it for a living or whether you're doing it as a second income. Because I do it for a living, so I'm happy to charge.
And I heard that.
I pay lots. I go see a psychic, I go see therapists, I like coaches and stuff. I have my own coach, and we're not free because there has to be that exchange. And the people that I go to see, we do it for a living.
And this is and I get
a different
that. And things
thing.
And definitely things that have involved study, things that have involved you investing your dollars to become trained, certified, and diplomaed in. That is definitely. But what I'm saying is, as far as people that are in any kind of financial strain, you got to have a friend.
Yeah.
You got to have a family member. You got to have a cat, a dog, a fish, even a pair of slippers that you chit-chat to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm not saying that I do lots of my pro bono stuff.
And I pay too.
But
I go.
But for the most part, I charge.
I can read for other people, but I can't read for myself.
No,
and I will pay top dollar because I know the difference between top dollar and I know the difference between genuine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do. Yeah. And so for that, and that's where I want to go. When I go, that's what I want to do.
And I think, Teresa, don't get me wrong, bless you for doing it.
Definitely.
By donation.
I do it for donation because I do other work.
That's right. That's right.
Exactly.
And the other thing,
if I had to make a living at it, I would have to charge.
Of course.
This is how I have a best friend who's a tarot reader. She makes a lot of money reading tarot cards. She charges. That's her deal.
And the other thing too, I think, when you don't, friends give to friends, people in our lives, that sort of thing. We're not talking about that, But at the same time, if you don't charge for a service that you're performing, you're not valuing yourself enough.
Absolutely.
And your service. And a lot of times, I think, particularly with women, sometimes there is should I be charging $100 an hour for this? Or going rate, whatever going rate is, and there's at the same time collecting money from a service that you do or a talent that you have. There is nothing wrong with that.
Right.
It's important to value yourself still.
Well, one of the things that I found is that, and this isn't just about the healing work, this is about any aspect. If there is no exchange of money, people don't take responsibility for what you've given them.
Right.
And that was one of the reasons why I studied Reiki, and became a Reiki master, is because there was the principle of you have to exchange energy, and money is just a symbolic form of our energy, what we get in return for our work that we do, and it's like years ago, I worked in corporate world and I used to organize Christmas parties, and when the Christmas parties were free to everybody, people would say they're coming, the company would pay for a plate and a meal, and people would not show up. We started charging $5 a head, and people would honor it. And the same thing as when we did the competition at the Down Omer, because of the demographic in the area, the people running the competition chose to waive the entrance fee. And what happened on the night of the semifinals, 7 women qualified and only 2 of us showed up. And and it was like, you're putting out money to promote. The bar is putting out money. There's all kinds of stuff going into it. And if people don't have to pay even a pittance, in exchange, by a donation, then there's just a not taking responsibility. And this is a challenge for our industries because we're not covered by insurance or by OHEP.
Yeah.
And so people call, I get it almost every day. Hi, you charge too much. I can't afford you.
Yes, and then there's also one thing that I experienced. I had an aromatherapy company and made candle holders, and at $16.99 these candle holders were selling, but not terrifically, and I wasn't making a lot of money, so I thought, I'm raising the price. I'm putting them up to $19.99, and that way, even though I'm not selling as many, I'd be making more of a profit on them. And I was quite nervous about it, thinking, are people going to pay that? Well, do you know that they sold better? Because people saw something at $16.99 as being cheaper, and then when it was $19.99, it was like, oh, this is something.
Yeah.
A lot of times we trick ourselves into thinking if we pay more, we're getting better. Type of thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, Gary, would you be able to give out the phone numbers for us?
Sure will.
And email into at realityradio101@yahoo.com. You can also see our Facebook page, Ladies In and Out, on Facebook. And you can like our site. We're also on YouTube under SexByHazzard, HAZZARD, and our past shows are on there as well. And the numbers to call in, feel free to call in, people. The
local number is 905-725-1907. Toll free in North America, 1-866-905-7325. And worldwide, a special number just for you folks, 1-866-656-5477. Or you can email us right now, realityradio101@yahoo.com. And we did get one email, and someone wanted to know why you're not on cam.
Was that Del by any chance?
No, it was some other guy. He goes, how come those ladies aren't on cam?
Okay, let's talk about
because we're all naked.
Yeah.
From the waist down.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Hey.
Next month. We'll do it next month.
Yeah. Well, that's what, it was, as we were coming in here, a couple of the ladies, no, we're not. How do we feel about this, ladies? Next month, do we want to go? The way it works is they can listen, they have to open another browser, and they can see us on, what's it called? Up something?
It's called Ustream.tv.
Okay.
And that little cam right there, which is a high-end definition camera, right here, Jen.
Oh,
right
that
here, this
one?
little
Okay.
one.
Yeah.
People can watch you as well as listen to you, so they can see what you do and what you look like. And
so I can't pick my nose anymore?
No.
Yeah.
But, Amanda, that's funny you mention that, because what's happening is when we go to commercial breaks, I don't pause the camera. And some of the guys have forgot that they're still on, and they're scratching themselves and coughing and this and that and everything else. And I reminded them, I said, when we go to commercial break, you're still live on the cam. So the world is seeing you. So when you're picking your ass, balls, just remember that.
Jesus.
So there you go.
Did that change their demeanor at all?
They kind of were shocked because they assumed it was when we went to commercial, the camera was paused. And it wasn't, because I have too many things going on during a commercial break.
Sure.
So I said, no, man.
That's too funny.
Yeah, so some dude just from New York City.
Ladies.
Next month, for sure.
Yeah, okay. Sure. Anybody against being on cam next month?
No, not at all.
Amanda, you're good? Jen, you're good?
Go.
Okay.
Good.
Just
next month.
so I can do my makeup.
Yeah,
well, this is what
I
said. We need to notice,
That's
it's
it.
important.
Yeah,
Little
and
heads
maybe a
up
different
at
angle.
least,
I don't know.
right?
All these,
we'll figure out an angle.
I'll wear my push-up bra and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
In the radio
Actually, maybe
world,
I'll wear a bra. No.
these are called
We'll dance during the song.
these are called cans in the radio world.
Yeah.
So everyone's gonna see our cans.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Show us your kids, love. Yeah. So there you go. Thank you for emailing in, and we will next month. We will be we'll be bigger stars.
We'll be bigger.
Yeah.
And if Dave and Law are listening out there, like they said they would be, Dave, I'm very disappointed if you don't call in tonight. It just would not be you.
Yeah, call in, people. Ask us. Bring up your own subject. Anything that we say, of course, or anything that you'd like to promote. Call in and say hi. Now, a couple of the other things that I wanted to talk about. First of all, if you mention Naughty But Nice in Oshawa on King Street, if you mention Ladies Night In and Out or Reality Radio, you receive 10% off all your sex toys, lingerie, lotions, potions, etc. Toys? Yeah.
Jen, I can't help
Do
but
we have
notice.
another Toy Story?
Official toy right here.
I can't help but notice that your
Yes.
nail polish matches the official toy.
Our official toy.
No kidding, eh? Does it ever? Does it
See,
ever?
if we were on cam, people would be able to see that.
That's right. I could hold up my
Turquoise
fingers.
nails for a turquoise dildo.
Yes. And okay, since we're the
Our official mascot.
Yeah. Gary's little fun thing back there.
It was a freebie we never gave away, so.
Yeah.
It's been passed
Now that
around too
everybody's
much. I don't
manhandled
see
it.
who
Yeah.
wants to claim that
Yeah.
as a take home.
Yeah.
No thanks.
It's bad when there's a teal vibrator in the house and none of the women want to take it home. Okay, But okay, since I was gonna do a more political talk, but since my nails were brought up, we're gonna talk about my daughter's wedding on Friday. Because that was actually the teal is the color of my dress. First, I want to say a huge thank you. It took a team of women to get me ready.
And she looked gorgeous.
Yes,
thank
very
you,
much
thank
so.
you. Thank you. I, Tammy, my friend Tammy, just bless her. She put me together quite a bit, and also Crystal and Marie. I was so spoiled the day of. It was like I was sitting there, and they were getting things for me and bringing me things and doing my hair, and And Teresa, I wore a piece that you had made, and also Jillian's jewelry box, a ring that. She made as well, and that's where the teal came in. And it was a beautiful, beautiful outdoor wedding out by a stream. The weather was absolutely perfect. My daughter just looked completely stunning, just absolutely beautiful.
That's
and we
nice.
danced and we danced and we danced. So it was. I'm now a mother-in-law.
Yeah, I have a daughter too.
That's right, a
I-
daughter-in-law.
I have a
A daughter-in-law.
Yeah, I have
Yep.
a son he's been married a year now. My oldest
Wow.
boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, because I was thinking about that actually. We're the two mother-in-laws in the house.
Yeah.
Eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jen, could I interrupt
My
you?
son's living
Yes, you
in
may.
sin.
So you're almost a mother-in-law. You're a sinful
I'm a sinful
mother-in-law.
mother-in-law.
There you go. Sounds a lot more fun than mine.
You do have a telephone call.
Oh, very good.
I believe Lynn is on the phone.
Okay.
Lynn, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Hi, Lynn.
Hi, Lynn.
Hi, Lynn.
Hello, ladies. How are you?
Good. How are you, Lynn?
Well, we're getting all ready for the great weekend we have ahead of us.
Yes, I've heard about that. I'm so glad you called in to promote it. We were actually going to just start talking about it, but now that you've called in, Lynn Tucker has there's at the Curtis Flea Market. If you're in the Oshawa area on Saturday at 10:30, is that correct, Lynn?
Right. Saturday at 10:30 is the grand opening of our new enterprise out there at the flea market. My business partner, Randy Jacobs, and I have decided to open the business called Freya Metaphysical Enterprises Incorporated.
Very cool.
And we are going to be the go-to place psychic room. We don't have one psychic. We have a pool of psychics.
I'm one of them. Hi, Lynn.
Oh, I didn't know that, Karen.
Yeah.
Oh wow, small
wonderful.
world. I knew. I know a couple of the other women that are part of it, and of course, Randy as well. Now, also, Lynn, you sell things at this booth too, don't you?
Yes, we're really fortunate that so many of our psychic mediums are very talented people, and we will have consignment items that they will be selling at the booth, from spiritual artwork to handmade soaps and things like that.
Oh, very cool. And then also, I have to mention Lynn and Randy, and who is the man that's doing the show?
Oh, this is great. We are so fortunate. If you've never heard of this man, his name is Scott McClelland.
Right.
And he owns Carnival Diablo, which is the oldest sideshow in Canada.
Wow.
Part of his sideshow is called the Paranormal Show. And I've worked with Scott for several years now, doing dinner theater and sideshow events as the in-house medium for them. And all the money that I've done for that show has gone to breast cancer research.
Oh, very good.
And so now he, as paying it forward, is coming to do the grand opening of our booth at 10:30, and he's bringing the Paranormal Show Victorian Steampunk Magic right to our booth. And it's an homage to the old turn-of-the-century spiritualists and what they used to do on the stage.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of mystery and mayhem involved. So if you guys can get yourselves out of bed and get over there at 10:30, it won't be missed, I tell you.
And then also during the entire day, the actual flea market is open till about 4 or 5 o'clock?
Yeah, the flea market is open from 9 a.m. till 4:30, and from 9 a.m. till 1 on Saturday, October the 5th, Freya will have a scavenger hunt at the flea market, and people can come and collect stamps on a piece of paper at many booths in the flea market, and at the end, when they've collected all their stamps, they'll get their name in for a grand prize draw.
Oh, is that
which is going to be donated by my other shop, which is Motivated Motion. And Motivated Motion is a crystal jewelry shop with some witchy themes and ghosty themes to it. So we'll have a grand prize from there.
Oh, very
We're
good.
also going to have a couple of other prizes. One will be definitely like a door prize item that'll be a high quality item, which is going to come from one of our mediums.
Very good. And then you are, I've got a couple of things to plug with you. First of all, you yourself and Randy and Scott will be on Sex by Hazard tomorrow night. Reality radio at 10:30.
I'm looking forward to that. I've been trying out my new sexy voice and everything.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to have so much fun, Lynn. It's just going to be I'm so looking forward to it. I know Randy as well, and I'll be meeting Scott.
Yes, and he's a very sexy man.
Well, hey, what could be more perfect, right?
Yes. And he has that touch of evil.
Oh, well, there you go. Don't we all? And the other thing I wanted to say, too, is that this is not just a one-day show.
No, absolutely not.
Yes, you will be having the Curtis Flea Market. It's open every Saturday and every Sunday. Year-round, too, isn't it, Lynn?
Yes, and we're in the building. We're in the first building, the one that's adjacent to Bloor. So the flea market is located at 1696 Bloor in Curtis. And then the front building has that sort of triangular teepee awning in the front door.
Right.
If you went inside that front door, both Freya and Motivated Motion are just to your right as you walk in the front door. And we're in this really, what we call the high-class corner. We're
sexy
trying
corner.
to dress it up. Yeah, we're dressing it up, making it very fancy. And Freya is the flouncy corner because we have dramatic curtains and beautiful awnings and all sorts of ambiance over there.
Very good.
So, you know, we've really tried to give the customers a peaceful and a little bit more quiet area to have their psychic readings done.
Yeah.
Now, the important thing about that, too, is we have 4 mediums that can work at any given time in the booth because the booth is the size of a large classroom.
Oh, wow.
And we've subdivided that classroom into little areas with dividing curtains for privacy, and we have beautiful, comfortable chairs and really nice tables and cute little lights and all things like that. And after all of that is said and done, that's what we do on Saturdays and Sundays, and once in a while on Saturday mornings, we'll come up with a really innovative class so people can come and do something innovative and learn something new spiritually or healing-wise, something like that.
Yes. Well, Lynn, I want to thank you for coming. I'm so looking forward to tomorrow night. People, check it out. You know, one thing I want to say about you, Lynn, is what I know you put your heart and your soul into everything that you do. It's a way of life for you. This isn't you know, just a passing job. You walk your talk, and I know that the energy in your area and in that booth is going to be absolutely phenomenal.
Well, I really look forward to talking to you tomorrow, and I hope to see all of your guests out there to join us this weekend, and tell all your friends.
Yes.
And thank you very much for inviting me to call in today.
Oh, you're very welcome.
And I just, I really, it is from the bottom of my heart. I thank you for all your time.
Yes. Now, also,
Randy and I really, really think that the psychic mediums in the Durham area are awesome.
Oh, yes.
And we want to see them working.
Yes.
And that's why we decided to do this.
Yes. And the other thing, how can people, do you have a website, a Facebook fan page? You know, how can people get more information?
Freya Metaphysical Enterprises Incorporated is just becoming a page right now on Facebook as we speak.
Okay.
So probably by tomorrow morning it'll have all its bells and whistles up.
Okay.
And we will have a website. It will be coming very shortly.
Very good. And then the other thing that I can do, Lynn, is on the ladies' page and Sex by Hazard, I'll go on and like that page so that our listeners that are on there, that's a way of they'll be able to find it that way as well.
Great.
Yes, thank you for calling.
And then tomorrow night, you guys can find out if you can have sex with a ghost.
That's right.
Great.
Did you say a ghost?
Yes.
A goat?
A ghost.
Sorry, I have Greek relatives.
Take care, Lynn.
Thank you for calling, Lynn.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
That's
Bye.
hilarious because it feels like that's all I've done for the last 20 years.
You know, speaking of ghosts and things like that, the Oshawa Zombie Walk is this weekend, isn't it?
I haven't heard of that.
There's a zombie walk, I believe, Friday night.
I'm pretty sure you're right. Yeah.
Halloween parade or
Never heard
zombie
of it
walk.
either.
I know what I'm doing. I'm staying home watching UFC, locking my doors, and I don't want to see any scary people come near me, or I'm going to deck somebody. I think we're manifesting all these dead people because there's and The Walking Dead and all this stuff about.
But it's Halloween. It's a dead month. It's a month to honor.
Goodness.
But you know, it's
To
New
dress
Year.
up and
It's
walk
not
around.
about
Oh, I'm
being
just
dead.
afraid.
It's about being. It's a New Year.
No,
it's
I don't
the
like
Wicked
it.
New Year.
I really don't. I'm
Is
not a
that the
zombie
Wicked
fan.
New Year? Is that Halloween? The All Saints Day starts there.
Oh, Hallows Eve.
Okay.
Yep.
I didn't know it was connected to a new. I knew it was.
day in which
It's
the,
the day of
veil
the
between this
spirit
world and
life
the next
is-
is the thinnest.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So then the renewal, I guess, would happen on November 1st. Then.
Yes.
Okay. Halloween is my favorite holiday.
It never really was about the candy.
Me too.
No.
No.
No, there's just something, there's
For
something.
me, it was.
Yeah.
Look at me.
It is the next day when it's all half price. Then it's about the
Yeah,
candy.
because someone
All
else
about
has
the
already
candy.
bought a box of Halloween candy. I read on Facebook.
Yeah,
It'll never
Teresa.
see- it'll never
Not
see
mentioning
Halloween.
names, Teresa.
We'll never see Halloween.
Yeah.
I'm glad my son is old enough that he doesn't come home with candy anymore.
Yeah,
I
neither
think
do
last
my
year was his
kids.
last year.
Yeah,
so.
my kids haven't done it in years.
Yeah.
I think Joseph went last year, but just walking around with his friends. But
Last year, my neighborhood traditionally has quite a few children, and of course, I bought a lot of candy, and we hardly got any children at all. So it wasn't even that I had a child going out; I had buckets and buckets of leftover
Your
candy.
own, yeah.
yeah, there's an elementary school not far from me, so it's pretty busy Halloween night. I have fun. I deck the house out and hand out cute little costumes. I love it. Kids are so excited about it. It's just the biggest deal to them.
Yeah, and there's something for me that the freedom to wear things that I wouldn't normally, it's like, couldn't every day be Halloween? Couldn't I put on, glittery
Why couldn't it
things
be?
and,
Why
and
can't you?
feathers? Well, it could, but people
Well,
would think
there's
I'm
a
a little
self-limiting
strange.
belief of densities that we need to shift.
Yeah, exactly. Just be careful what you wish for. We're going to be on camera next week, and I'll be in with the,
I'll
pink
bedazzled.
feather. Yeah.
That's okay.
My natural
Bedazzled.
glittery self.
So
We'll
I
have to
just-
do that
I
one
was
time.
just
We'll
gonna
have
come
to
in
do
my
that.
pajamas.
We'll have to
Bring
do
out the
that.
flannel, baby.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah, we could do that.
So
I'm
they
sure
want to
they'd-
see us next month. We'll be all dressed up. We'll wear our Halloween costumes next month.
We could. A little late, but that's okay.
Why not?
Why
Good
not?
idea.
Yeah,
good
we'll have to
idea.
have
Call it
Come
Halloween
up with
week.
something.
Ugly Christmas sweater party too.
Yeah.
Oh, are we doing the show with the guys? Getting together with the guys and girls get together.
We haven't planned anything yet. We need definitely a bigger, venue type of thing.
A well-ventilated venue?
Yes.
Apparently.
Yeah. No kidding, eh? Gary, how are we doing for commercial?
Anytime you're ready.
Are we ready?
I am always ready, baby.
I know, yeah. Okay, so you're listening to Ladies' Night In and Out right here on Reality Radio 101, and we will be right back.
Oh, I need to pee.
The heart is a balloon, shoots up through the stony ground. There's no room, no space to rent in this town. You're out of luck.
Hi, I'm Teresa Commodaro, owner and operator of Sugar My Skin. Take the chore and ouch out of hair removal by visiting me in Oshawa for smooth, velvety skin treatments using an all-natural hair removal technique known as body sugaring. Along with pure sugar paste, I am delighted to offer other aesthetic solutions, harnessing gifts from the earth, such as body and complexion care, chakra balancing with quantum touch and gemstone placement. Please ask me about custom aromatherapy gemstone and other unique metaphysical aids that are available for worldwide shipping. Sign up for my newsletter and check out my website at www.sugarmyskin.com for skin and body care tips, workshops, promotions, and more. Questions are always welcome at 289-600-6796. That's 289-600-6796. Call today.
Are you looking for a new and exciting place to go, hang out, eat, and enjoy great entertainment? Then look no more. The Down Omer, located at 522 Ritson Road South in Oshawa, is the place for you to go. From exciting karaoke contests with great cash prizes to open mic sessions and live music for you to enjoy, the Down Omer offers its world-famous authentic Newfie recipe of mussels for just $6.95. That's right, just $6.95 for the absolute best in authentic Newfie food. And what about the Down Omer's drink and shooter specials? Plus, the Down Omer offers free meals at 7 p.m. on Friday evenings. You heard it right. A free meal on Friday evenings at 7 p.m. Sunday, it's 25-cent wings or our daily special of a basket of wings for just $6.95. How about a 7-ounce homemade burger with fries for just $5.95? Unbelievable. We are the Down Omer, located in Oshawa. call us at 905-434-1669. That's 905-434-1669. Call us today and never be hungry or bored again. We are the Down Omar, located at 522 Ritson Road South, Oshawa. Jillian's Jewelry Box on Facebook. Handcrafted unique jewelry by artisan Jillian Crone. Jillian's Jewelry Box at gmail.com. Custom design, affordable prices, shipping available worldwide. Visit her Facebook fan page to purchase one of Jillian's beautiful jewelry creations. That's Jillian's Jewelry Box. Email Jillian right now. Jillian's Jewelry Box at gmail.com.
Looking for your dream vacation but are tired of searching for every little detail on the internet yourself? Would you love to get rid of the hassles and keep the same great prices you found online? Hello, my name is Linda Harlots and I am a travel agent with Pure Magic Vacations Destinations. I am an experienced TICO certified travel agent with a wide knowledge base of the exciting adventures available for you to explore. We are a full service travel agency that can take you anywhere in the world. If you're dreaming of an adventure on the high seas, or exploring the wonders of the world, or you just want to laze around a tropical paradise, I can make this happen for you. Want something closer to home? A girls' retreat, or a romantic getaway resort? A weekend absorbing the culture in New York, or a train ride through the Rockies? We follow the biblical principle of Pure Magic Vacations, where you come first, and we give you our very best, always. I would be honored to be part of your vacation planning. Let's get together and chat about your vacation dreams, either by email, on the phone, or in person. Let's make some magic happen. Please contact me at Linda, Lynda, at puremagicvacations.ca, or call me or text at 905-723-9210.
The following program may contain adult language and mature subject matter, and does not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Reality Radio 101, its advertisers and sponsors, or its listening audience. Listener discretion is strongly advised. Welcome back to Ladies' Night In and Out with your host, Jen Hazzard, right here, Reality Radio 101. To contact Jen right now, dial 905-725-1907. Toll free, 1-866-905-7325. Worldwide, 1-866-656-5477. Email Jen, realityradio101 at yahoo.com. And now back to your host of Ladies Night In and Out, Jen Hazzard.
And welcome back, everyone. Thank you for joining us. You are listening to Ladies Night In and Out. Feel free to call in, email in, tell us what you think, and talk to the ladies. We've got a few political issues to talk about in the last half. We're going to break them up a little bit just so we're not too heavy and serious and that sort of thing. But one of the things, Margaret Atwood, which is probably Canada's premier author, certainly well-known and well-respected and intelligent woman as well, and Sarah McLachlan is a singer from Canada, and they have proposed that we change the words to Canada to be more inclusive of women. And the line that they want to replace is "in all thy sons command," and what they want to replace it with is "in all of us command." So, ladies, I guess, how do you, I've heard different things on this. I've heard don't change something, like why are you changing it? And then I've heard why not? Like it is more inclusive using the other words. So how do we feel about the changing of the words of O Canada?
I don't see why it needs to be changed. I don't find it sexist in any way. In all our sons' commands, it's like it means a lot. I don't think it singles out sons and men. I don't.
Well, sons is a male term, though.
Yes, but look at the way it's being used. In all our sons' command, it's the whole song type or the whole lyric phrase. I don't see it just meaning just from. And how much is this going to cost Canada to do?
Yeah,
millions and millions of dollars.
That's where I was going
couldn't we put our energy towards something more important? Who cares?
How many of us will remember when we are in a position of having to sing it or about to sing it to sing
the national anthem?
No, they don't even sing it in the schools anymore.
I sang it at the Legion on Sunday.
It's not in the school anymore. The national anthem?
Sure it is.
They play it over. They play it over the PA. They took the prayer out years ago.
So we have already changed it. Now, my understanding, what I heard on the radio yesterday, is they're asking to change it back to what it originally was. Now, I don't know, that these lines are the original ones, but in the 80s we changed it because it never used to say "God keep our land glorious and free." It used to say "Oh Canada, glorious and free." We changed the lyrics already. It's like, can we just leave it alone?
Well, we've changed the lyrics historically many times. The original words, quite frankly, they're out of date. Most of it we wouldn't understand the language and the context of it.
Right.
And you're right. The 80s was when it was most recently changed. But you can't. Sons is. I would thought most of you would say. Change it. It's a good idea. Isn't that interesting?
There's people in this country that are starving to death, and we want to spend that money on changing.
Why would it cost us money?
All of the old,
to republish
everything and change everything for the school.
I thought Canada and the States were supposed to be merging anyway.
Nothing is
no.
I saw something.
No, actually, they said it would be about $100 million to change it.
Are you serious?
Wouldn't that really mess up
poor
Absolutely.
$100 million.
Because of publishing, all the recordings would have to be re-recorded for everything that they use it for. They use it for
baseball games.
It's also in Ottawa. It's also on things that were, what do you call the stones they do? Plaques and when they so they
I'll change it. I'll change it for $50 million.
I'll change it for $100.
Yeah.
Well, my thought on it was that those sons' command, there were men fighting in the war, and the women were back home, taking care of the children, and it probably was written with the intention that there were men fighting in the war, and they gave us our freedom, and we all pulled together and did it, but they in the song it was recognized to be the man that went whatever.
So in today's society, when there are many women that are fighting and fighting for Canada, shouldn't that then be changed to honor them?
So what
the
about
women that
people
are
that don't
fighting?
believe in God? God keep our what about people who don't believe in God? Why aren't they up in arms that there's we took God out of school? Why should it be in the anthem?
And
I agree though. I agree.
Excellent. And I think that
the
women that have joined the army to go and fight for our country didn't do it because of the song.
No, for sure.
Yeah. It was like that before. So ask them.
I think they could
there's
put
anybody
their
out there that
towards things that mattered.
Wants to call in and give your opinion on that.
I don't want to spend my tax dollars. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Don't we spend enough tax money on silly things like war?
Yes, I agree.
And
I agree.
I'm a feminist. I don't think it's a reflection of any kind of bias. I always feel included when I hear that. It just doesn't fit in with the line. It's just like there's no room for sons and daughters command. But, I always assumed it was talking about your children.
It does.
Yes, it's gender specific.
It's rhythmic.
But
we always talk about somebody as him.
Yes.
You accuse them as him.
Or a man, even.
Yeah. So it's
true.
A man.
I don't talk about people as hims. I think I'm more inclusive that way. When I'm referring to people, definitely I don't make them male.
You're very gender specific?
No. No, people I use like people words like people or community or citizens or like those type of words. Like I wouldn't assume everybody was a male or a female. I guess
and we need to change the Bible then because it refers to man, but they mean man as in human,
exactly. All of us,
yeah. So, but
creation,
it says man.
Yeah.
It's so let's start changing the Bible now again. Then
so they should.
Now we're getting really expensive
so
here.
They should.
The Bible actually is the book that's been copied the most.
Yes, and definitely I agree. There's so much sexism in the Bible; it's incredible, and I'd love to see it changed in many ways, not just that way. I don't believe that. The messages that we're meant to get out are often when they're putting down homosexuals and women and there's evil in that.
Oh yes,
the Bible itself was not even written by God.
Anything
the Bibles that we read today,
controlled religion.
No. Yeah,
they were written King James.
It's man written, just like the
man interpreted
the lyrics to the anthem. Somebody else wrote it. So
and they wrote it at a time.
Create your own reality. You create your own religion. You create your own. I mean, we were talking about prayer before. It used to be you go to the field and you pray. You're offering out there what you need. You're being thankful for what you have. Then it became an enclosed space.
Well, and if they were going to be more inclusive, why would the line is true patriot love in all thy sons command? Why not in all our hearts command and not all of us? Because you're talking about patriot love, wouldn't you want to, you can eliminate the whole gender issue by using, in all our hearts command.
Yeah. And I also think that God doesn't belong in our national anthem. Plain and simple. I don't think it does. It has nothing to do with a country.
Yep.
Because then again, we're not being inclusive to the people that don't believe. Is to force people to look at things a certain way type of thing. And I would love to see both of them actually gone. But $100 million.
Or goddess.
No.
Change it to goddess.
No. There's better things to do with that money, Canada. I love you, Sarah McLachlan and Margaret Atwood. I think you're incredible. But come on.
If you want to fund, if they want to fund the change,
exactly,
go for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't want to pay for it.
No.
It's just, not worth it.
Yeah. And then we also have to talk about a local political issue. Councillor Amy England.
I love her.
Yeah. In the Oshawa area. I was witness to this. I read many of the posts that were out there. Someone had put in two political groups. A picture of her and then a picture of a woman that was used on a cigarette pack to deter people from smoking. Rotted teeth. Just a really disgusting picture in a lot of ways. And the comments that came after this post and the reactions and the attitudes, I know, the things that I was reading, I was quite shocked at the sexism out there, the fact that people were looking at her look. She's a beautiful woman. Not that matters. She's a very dedicated politician as well. But she has experienced a lot of backlash in her political career. She's a younger woman. Some of the things that I've read on Facebook, again from people that are bullying, to say the least, they talking about her looks, and one person said, what a poor example she is to women because she's pregnant, and yet she's married. Not that should matter. And they've talked about her beauty and this sort of thing. Definite bullying going on there.
Oh, yeah. Cowards behind a screen.
Yes, definitely.
I mean, that's all it is, right? That's,
definitely.
And a venue for them.
Yeah, they came across their grammar, their spelling, their level of intelligence. They came across as a bunch of bullying people. Yeah. And the other thing too is when I'm looking to vote, people that if you have to underhandedly and in a nasty sort of way bully a politician, there's something wrong, because you're not standing up for what is it that you're going to do positive.
That's not politics, exactly.
Yeah, and that's the first person I wouldn't vote for, is someone that does have to feel they have to slam other people, and that's also the type of sexism that the comments that were made. The hair matching the rug. Another guy posted something about wanting to impregnate one of the women from city staff in the middle of a council meeting. And
what?
Yes.
Really?
I was shocked. I was shocked at this amount of sexism, degradation,
misogyny.
bullying. Yes, it was taking place.
And in our city, no doubt.
Yes, and I just wanted to say, Amy England, she's a champion for women and children. She's a youthful woman that supports families and students as well. She's on the Arts and Cultural Committee. She's a dedicated, I don't always agree with everything that she has done or said, but at the same time, she is certainly a very, very dedicated counselor in the Oshawa area. This has made national news, and it's not the first time that she has done this. She was, somebody brought saying that because she had a makeover, she was taking campaign contributions, which of course that was dropped. And then she is also the very first politician in Canada to dress in drag. And she did so. She wore a male suit, and she lip synced to, synced. Is that a lip synced? lip synced. But anyways, she lip sang, and in drag, and she received a lot of backlash. It was in support.
Was that for charity?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. She's also a champion of gay rights, and this is for a support group for people that have gay members in their family and have trouble dealing with it or need support in some way. And there was tremendous backlash for that as well. And it's like, because you're a beautiful woman doesn't mean that you deserve to be attacked for that. And it shouldn't come into play when you have a job that you're doing and doing the best that you can. And I want to say personally, I was disgusted by a lot of the remarks. I was part of the people that were protesting it. I got called a socialist and a NDPer, and it's like, how do you know how I voted? Were you watching? And
well, and regardless of that, it's your option to vote as you please, because we're in Canada and we can support whatever political group we want to support.
Exactly. And there was bullying involved.
That we enjoy.
Yes.
It's really, rough go for women, because there is so much pressure to look good, and then there is a lack of empathy for people who look good and who are doing a good job, because somehow it reflects that they've used their looks to get where they are, as opposed to them being competent. People see how they look, and they don't recognize that people have worked hard or struggled or been through really harrowing experiences in their life because they look a certain way. And there's nothing that says that this woman has not worked her butt off to get where she is. And how dare they focus on her appearance?
Yes.
To belittle her.
Yes, and they wouldn't be threatened by her.
Shame on them.
Yes, very much so. And they wouldn't be, if they were not threatened by her, they wouldn't have to resort to these type of tactics.
They're threatened.
Yes, very much so. And quite frankly, the sexist remarks that I had to endure myself, actually, against me, were just disgusting. And today's society, I'm surprised it, brought me back to I'm nobody's baby and what Murphy Brown, the thing about her being pregnant and what kind of a role model is she? It's like times need to change. Yeah. We need to accept people, to look at a politician for what they do, not their sex, and it's not surprising that more women aren't in politics, and yet I believe worldwide, if there were more women in politics, we would have a very different world. I think there'd be more compassion.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's my piece about her.
Well, and often that's a deterrent for women to actually break through the glass ceiling or to become very public figures, because everything they do is scrutinized. And you can't win either way. There's always going to be critics, and people are going to tear you down. But the amount of threat that is perceived by her power, it just is. It seems ridiculous that they would attack her on this personal level. Don't we think higher than that? I mean, and just to be a target for such misogyny, it just goes to show you how much it is sort of seething beneath the surface between the sexes. I mean, at least in Oshawa.
Yes,
and likely in other places as well.
And the other thing that I was disappointed with, there were women that were posting about her looks. There were women that were condoning this, and as far as I'm concerned, they were, almost as guilty as the ones that were making the remarks by supporting this type of behavior, by allowing this type of behavior. And, it's not acceptable.
Yeah, the girl-on-girl bullying stuff is heinous. You know, it's like jumping on the bandwagon of a train that's driving right to hell. You know, if we're not supporting each other, stay out of the argument. You know, don't support a position that would tear down an individual who has worked to achieve a certain status in her career.
Yes.
You know, that it's like, you know, how does that serve us as women to do that to each other? It doesn't serve us.
No, definitely not.
Well, for the meantime, it just makes that negative individual feel better about themselves for 2.2 milliseconds.
For the instant, yeah, for the instant.
You know, because there always has to be some sort of self-gratification first and foremost before anything, and especially simple-minded people.
Yes, and even their language. You know, their language and their spelling, their grammar, and you know, this sort of thing. And it's just like they're very simple-minded.
Yeah, put down your Game Boy, and get off the couch and go and do something with your life rather than detracting from people who are trying to make the environment, the community, a better place.
Yeah, and I guarantee anybody that was involved in this will never be in politics because people see through that type of behavior. You know, and especially when they're so public with it, you know, it's
outright.
That reputation isn't going to be lost.
And the looking at, you know, things, for example, like her dressing in drag for charity and in support of, you know, families that are dealing with, you know, the whole backlash around having gay members in the family. You know, it can be very, very challenging for families to accept their members, and horrible for the people who are going through the process to feel like their families are abandoning them. And so there's such a need for counseling and help in this area. And to attack somebody because they dressed in drag for a charity that supports that kind of work, that's, you know, to me that's unconscionable. You know, where are people's values?
Yeah.
You know?
The other thing too, I mean, she has handled herself with such class through all this, through all of the you know, trials that she's been through. And you know, she is a beautiful person and non-judgmental. You know, and I believe she has a real love of her community and the people in her community, and her heart truly does want to make Oshawa a better place.
One of the other things I find really interesting is how we seem to expect our politicians to be on pedestals morally. It's like, well, why? Because if they're doing a good job looking after public policy, you know, creating programs, why do we have to hold them to a different standard than everybody else who they serve? Like, you know, if she has a divorce or a baby out of wedlock or whatever the case is, so what? What about the demographics she might be serving, who are full of families that are like that, you know?
Yes. And just for the record, just to be clear, she is married.
Right. I understand that.
Yeah, it's not that should make
example.
a difference.
You know, it's just an example of, you know, why is it, I mean, I'm sorry, but more marriages end in divorce than not these days. Why are we holding our politicians to this, you know, this ideal of, well, they should be married, they should have kids, they should, you know, do this.
I think, you know, there's a certain amount. I can see if a politician is doing something illegal.
Right, that's where I was thinking.
If they're breaking
charged
the law.
with drinking and driving and all of that kind of stuff.
That is a different thing.
You know,
but
when it's everyday life stuff, it's just they live their life. And however
probably
it works
because
out.
I'm sorry, Karen.
Go ahead, Amanda.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was thinking that maybe because we put them on a pedestal because we are paying them a lot of money
to be on that,
to do a job.
Correct,
but not to be.
But you know, they're counselors that make decisions for the city, or a mayor that, you know, has people under his thumb, and he gets, you know, he's making top dollar, or she's, you know, whatever.
Well, and that's a different thing. I was, you know, referring more to their personal, but, you know, it's like the area that I lived in, we had a candidate running for the Liberal candidacy, And the area that I live in, she did not represent the demographic. Now, she got in because a greater part of that area represented the demographic, that she stood for. But, it's like looking at, can the person do the job because they can relate to the people in their community and understand the people's needs?
I think, Amanda, one thing that you were saying that I can see morally, if there's a politician that's a liar and lying and gets caught on that, that would affect how they serve. It's like then they would probably continue that sort of moral behavior when they're working in office. So I can understand a bit about their morals, their character. If they're sexist, for instance, are they going to represent and stand up for the issues? So I can, not just legally, but I can see some moral issues coming into play as well. So I agree with you to that on a certain extent. I think, what they did to Clinton, when he got a blowjob from Monica, it's like that was nobody's business. That didn't affect his, again, he lied, so there is a certain amount of it, because he wasn't telling the truth.
That's what the whole country, the whole world. I don't know. I just think that was just you're human.
Nationally.
But that was just the most rotten
well, you know
thing
what?
I've ever
You know what
heard in my
ruined
life.
that?
And I mean,
The blue dress?
No. I mean, I actually voted for Clinton because I'm a U.S. citizen. But what blew that for him is he did it in the White House.
No pun.
He did it in the White House, and even his own party condemned him for that.
That's
He
my
should have got a
point.
hotel or
That's
whatever,
my point. Like
and that's what. Because I can't go.
The whole
I can't go in the White House and have sex,
No,
and I own
I was
it.
just gonna say,
I literally own part of that. Right? I'm a U.S. citizen.
Right.
I can't do that. So that's what blew it for him. Not so much that he lied, but even his own party said, "Bill,
It's disgusting.
not
kind of sick
in the
fantasy.
people's house, right? I mean, it's not your wife, right?
Yeah.
That's what screwed.
You
That's
don't
why he got impeached.
do in your own yard.
And that's why he got impeached,
basically,
right?
you
So
know?
he got
Just-
impeached.
You don't do that.
Yeah.
So
He didn't end up getting impeached.
he did.
Yes, he did.
Seriously?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
It was only the second president in the history that ever was impeached.
Yeah. That I knew.
Impeached.
But, it's like these candidates who want to run for office and they find out that 30 years earlier they had an affair. It's like...
Or made a porn
How does
or,
that have any
something.
bearing on what they're, I smoked a doob, but I didn't inhale, Oh, my God.
And for our international audiences out there, that don't follow Canadian politics, we have had a whole rash of Canadian politicians come forward and say, "Yeah, I smoked pot.
Yeah,
I even inhaled.
about
Yeah,
it.
I've tried it."
Yeah.
And like George W., who said, I smoked, but I didn't inhale.
Yeah, wasn't
Our
that- it was
guys are
Clinton. That was
inhaling and
Clinton. That was Clinton.
passing.
That was
Yeah,
Bill
yeah.
Clinton. That
Yeah.
was me
Yeah.
when I met Hillary.
Well, when I was in Oxford in England, they had on the tour the blue door where Clinton lived when he was in Oxford and where he smoked the doob.
Yeah.
Big deal.
Big deal.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's noteworthy.
Yeah.
It's-
I think
that
it was.
is not.
It wasn't Gary. You'd probably know more about this. Wasn't it Bush that said he did inhale?
He might have said that because he admitted he smoked pot during college. He was a pretty wild guy.
Oh yes.
He had a DWI.
Oh yes.
He drank a lot.
Yeah.
He was abusive. He was a pretty bad guy, actually. So, yeah.
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 Life experience, really.
Yeah.
And now that we're on political stuff with the U.S., there's a 2-day strike, I guess, or a walkout with 800,000
Government
workers.
shutdown.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 800,000. The Republicans are shutting it down to protest Obamacare. And a statistic that I found is in the United States, 60% of all bankruptcies in the United States are due to medical bills.
Wow.
That's sad.
That's awful.
Yeah. Look at what is this going to accomplish? Is this going to help the situation? Is it going to make it worse? Are there going to be more families now that are bankrupt because of the shutdown? People's vacations are being ruined. Small businesses are being affected by this as well. I certainly hope it doesn't go. There's talk of it, if it lasts till Friday, it could be major crisis. And the impact of that, certainly to protest people having health care. And in Canada, we have universal health care, and it's certainly not perfect, certainly not perfect. But the resistance that is being, when 60% of bankruptcies is due to medical bills and that sort of thing, it's quite sad. Because people have the right, should have the right to health care.
Devastating, and maybe they're still not even healthy still. And, they're plagued with.
Yeah, how do you pay that money back?
Yeah, and still be sick, Yeah.
Then they come to Canada because they get faster treatment here, do they not? Or is that reverse?
I was going to say
it's
reverse.
Canadians go to America.
Yeah, the Canadians with money, and this is where it is a two-tiered in Canada. We say it's not, but definitely, if you can afford to go to the States, and I know people that have done it, definitely faster, better service. I've heard of people that walked into a hospital and it was like being in a resort. That type of thing down there. And again, it's, there's benefits to a private hospital system and healthcare system if you have money. If you don't have money, if you don't pay, you're going to be in trouble. And I'm sure there have been many people that have died over this. That's what we need to remember is each life is valuable. Doesn't matter how much money they have or their ability to pay. It should be based on, you're a human being, you're valuable. Worldwide, for that matter. Wouldn't it be nice if the drug companies that are making, record profits, if people weren't dying because they couldn't afford their medication. It's a global issue. And again, cutting off your nose to spite your face and shutting down, a lot of services in the States. You're affecting a lot of 800,000 people.
How do the Republicans have the power to do that?
I don't understand that either. I don't. To me, if I was president,
it goes by the vote, and it's not Obamacare. That's what the Obama's administration. That's not. Obama refuses to talk to the Republicans to come to terms to agree on a new health care program. He refuses to talk to them. He's refused to talk to them since day one, and the Republicans said, "Why? We're half of the the representatives of the people in this country."
Sure.
But yet he'll go out, which he did last week, and he's talking to people in Iran and stuff. That want to kill people in Canada and the U.S., he'll talk to them, but he won't talk to his own senators. So they put the pressure on him, and they said, look, half the country, more than half the country, they can't afford what you have on the table. Let's just redo it. Still your baby, you're revamping, but let's review it and let's make it fair for everyone. And he refuses literally to talk to them. So they said, okay, we're shutting down our half of the government, which affects, the whole country.
Yeah,
so
it's
his own party is putting pressure on him to talk, and he won't do it.
Perhaps he's felt he's talked about this. He's put this forward. This is the way it is. And by bullying back and saying, well, if you don't, this is what we're going to do. It's should a politician be the one to cave in and say, okay, you know what, you're bullying me, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to listen to you.
I wouldn't call it caving in, though. I mean, he's got a plan, right? He's got a plan, but it needs
sticking to it is. Yeah.
He needs to revamp some of it, because if you don't understand what's going on there, I know because I carry health insurance down there. I am forced now to pay for people, not people that are mentally or physically handicapped or people in wheelchairs. The bum on the street who doesn't want to work, who wants to collect welfare and this and that, I'm not paying for their health care because they're not putting it into the system because they don't want to put it into the system. So that means I'm going to pay an extra $600 a year to pay for that guy? There's no way. Would you people do it? No, you wouldn't.
How do we choose? Yeah, I was going to say we do. And then how do we choose
But that's because it's a universal system. It's not down there.
Yes.
It's not.
Yes, and that's the thing is, how do you pick and choose? How do you say, well, this person doesn't want to work, which we're assuming. And this person does, so they're justified.
I think you're right when you said a human care. A person is a person, and you don't know why he's on welfare. You don't know.
No, it's not that.
And
It's
someone
not
that's
that.
paying more money, are they entitled to more health care?
Exactly.
Or is a person that hasn't paid a dime their whole entire life, are they not still entitled to health care? And not only that, like you look at people on welfare or people that we assume are bums. They may be have raised children that are paying taxes. Their children may be paying more taxes than the businessman that
comes
thinks
down
he's
to
paying.
you just can't judge. You really can't, because you just don't know.
When there's a real danger in society when we say this person doesn't deserve health care and this person does.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Especially when it's based on money. I think there's a moral ground that goes with that. Either way, I'd like to see it, resolved, as quickly as possible, so that more people aren't affected and devastated, and the economic impact, alone with that many people being shut out. There's other ways of doing things than the way that this is being handled, for sure.
It's very forceful, indeed.
Yeah. Now, we touched on it earlier, actually, Nancy, but we got to talk about your black dog.
Yes.
Yes. Let me talk.
Okay.
Let me shine your star.
You talk.
Yeah. I want to shine your star.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
And Nancy, some of you listeners may know this, but a few months ago, the first time that we ever went to karaoke, and Nancy sang Black Dog, and it just sent chills right up my spine, goosebumps. She did a phenomenal job, and I knew the minute that she sang this song was going to make her money. And she entered a contest. It was actually a couple months long. Casey as well.
Yep.
Nancy's boyfriend was in it and came in second and won a recording spot with that. Mm-hmm. And you won first prize for the women.
Ladies, yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
and just again, when I saw the reaction of the judges, the reaction of the people, and you just did an absolutely phenomenal job.
Thank you. I don't think it was expected. The people who had heard me before, but even the people who knew me had never heard me sing that, so it wasn't expected, but it was such a great experience. And there were a few things going on. The first was my family had come all the way out to Oshawa and from the West End, and things were delayed, and et cetera, so they actually didn't get a chance to see me perform. But I really appreciated the support. It really meant a lot to me. And so Casey was competing. I was competing. Well, about 5 minutes before I was to do my first song, the host came up to me and said, "I'm really sorry, we can't load your song. It won't load."
Yeah.
So there I was, freaking out.
You should have seen her face.
Trying to maintain I'm in a Zen space. I'm all loving, la 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 la. And I was like, what am I going to sing? And so I had Jennifer with me, and I had my friend Kathy, who has been on a couple of cruises with me, and she sang with me, and she said, "Oh, you got to sing At Last." And the karaoke host, who is also Kathy, said, "Yeah, you should sing At Last." And I went, "Okay, all right." She says, "You know it well. I'm really, really sorry, really." And so I sang it, and it was good. It wasn't, and then I went in with this attitude of, you know what, sitting in, there's a whole bunch of other people in this room, and I don't want to put out negative energy. All I want to do is experience this as being loving, right? And so, the people I knew, wished them really well, and just tried to maintain that attitude. And when I got up, I think that really came through. And it was just like the most amazing experience. And afterwards, it was like I could feel there was some energy in the room that was kind of, off, as there always is in competition, but it felt great through the rest of it.
Definitely. The performers there, they were all absolutely excellent. I had a few friends that were in the competition, and they all did it. And that's the thing, too. It was a very supportive environment and a lot of fun, too. It was definitely a lot of fun. Now, Gary, how are we doing for that song clip? Are we?
I did get it, actually.
Oh, very good.
Funny.
Yeah. We've got a song clip that we're going to play. And it's what not to say to your wife, a little bit of humor out there, just to lighten up the mood and
I
hopefully
think Karen
make you
has
laugh.
some jokes or some trivia. trivia.
Yes,
Trivia.
yes.
But it's
Yes.
funny trivia, so we could run into that afterwards.
That
That'd
sounds
be
good.
great.
Yep, that sounds good. Okay, so here is our song.
I did the choreography myself. Hey honey, have you gained some weight in your rear end? The dress you wear reminds me of my old girlfriend. And where'd you get those shoes? I think they're pretty lame. Would you stop talking, cause I'm trying to watch the game? If you're a man who wants to live a long and happy life, these are the things you don't say to your wife. I planned a hunting trip next week on your birthday. I didn't ask you, but I knew it'd be okay. Go make some dinner while I watch this fishing show. I taped it over our old wedding video. If you're a man who done that, a long and happy life, these are the things you don't say to your wife. Solo, okay. Your cooking is okay, but not like mother makes. The diamond in the ring I bought you is a fake. Your eyes look puffy, dear. Are you feeling ill? Happy anniversary, I bought you a treadmill. If you're a man who wants to live a long and happy life, that too. These are the things you don't say to your wife. You're a man who doesn't want to get killed with a knife. These are the things you don't say to your wife.
There you go, Jen, right there.
And welcome back. Okay, there's your little bit of humor. Okay, now we've got Karen here, and she is going to. I just snapped my fingers at the ladies. I can't believe I did. Come on, okay, Ken's back on. Okay. But Karen is going to be talking about different word and saying meanings again.
Yes, I picked up just some phrases and where they actually came from. I have 25 of them.
Yeah, I somehow I don't think we have time for that.
No, I'm kidding. So I picked 3, just some of the more common ones. One of the one that kind of I was a little shocked at was in the clink. We know what that actually means, right, to be in jail. But where it actually comes from is there's a prison from the 12th century in the city of London, which was one of the very first prisons, and it is on Clink Street.
Oh, okay.
In England. So who the heck would have thought that? Who'd have thunk? And being a bigwig means someone important. Back in the 17th century, the fashion for men was to wear powdered wigs. Even the bigger the wig, the more important was the people in the government, law, finance, etc. So the higher you were up, the bigger the wig that you could wear.
Do you think they're compensating for something?
Yeah. Somehow I think so too.
And skeletons in the closet. Hiding something from one's past. From the tale of the pirate, Bluebeard, who gave his wife a key to the closets in the house, but with instructions not to open one special closet at the end of the hall. Once when he was away at sea, she did open the closet to find the skeletons of his former wives. Whoa. It can also go back to the time of body snatchers, those who dug up corpses to sell to medical schools and stored the skeletons in a cabinet or a closet.
Wow.
Ah. That's my trivia for the month.
Yes, yeah, our bit of trivia. And Jen, or Jenny, I guess, to keep things straight. Yes. You were a guest on my SexByHazzard.
Yes, I was.
And we had so much fun.
We had a good time.
We had a really, really good time.
We did.
It was just a fun, sexy night. And one of the things, actually, that you enlightened me about was nipple clamps.
Did you get a set?
Well, you remember the set that Gary gave me?
Yes, I do.
Okay. What they actually are, they are actually like clothes pegs, clothes clips, but they have like a little soft thing on them.
That's it.
And Jenny turned to me during the show and she said, "This is a good place to start." Because until
I
that
did.
night, I was actually a nipple clamp virgin.
Yes.
I had not used them at all or tried them, but I said, it's something that I would be open to.
Mm-hmm.
And so, of course, Gary's joking around and giving them to me, and Jen's like, yeah, Well, I went home that night, and I went right into my bathroom, and I got right undressed, and in my mirror, I clamped my nipples. And let me tell you.
Good for you, Jen.
Let me
Good
tell
for
you,
you. Hey.
It hurt a lot more than I thought.
I know, but how long did the hurt last?
Well, it didn't last. It was kind of
I know,
hurts in a good way.
I know, right? I mean, the initial is ow. Ooh.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yes. Now, there was still some ow, even, but I certainly they weren't on there for very long. And I can imagine what the really tough ones would be like and stuff. But the other thing that I found with those things, they double excellent in an excellent way as hair clips.
Nice. Very good.
Yes.
Very
so I
good.
actually... later on, multi-purpose, and I actually, what I did is I clipped my hair up then afterwards with them, and I went out and I was walking my dog and went down to a neighbor's.
Are those titty clips? Titty clips for your hair? You're just happy to see me.
Yeah.
Truthfully, Jen?
Yeah.
Truthfully?
Yeah.
What do you think of it now?
I want a man.
See?
I need a man. I want somebody to
Okay.
clamp them for me and
Yeah,
pull on them.
but
I want
as
the ones
far-
with the
Is
little
there a chain?
ropes on
Is there a
it.
The
chain?
little
No,
chain.
these
that's
are just
what I-
And is there
pegs.
like tension?
See, I
No,
told
they're
you,
close
Jen.
to-
I wasn't
Yes,
lying.
they're not
Told
real
you
ones.
all.
You mean you can work your way up to a
Oh,
tighter grip?
yes,
They're
I
like
told
training
Jen.
nipple clips?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Good
Yes.
Lord.
And I
Yes.
always thought, my
Tit clamps,
I've
nipple
breastfed
clamps.
3 babies, so I thought,
These
this is going to
suckers
be
are
no
tough,
problem.
Yes.
Yeah,
Remember we
yeah.
discussed that?
No
Oh, yeah.
kidding, eh?
No, it's a different.
Yeah, and it was like, ooh, it was
Yeah.
that sort of shock.
Yeah.
And then I actually went out to the bar. I went to the Down Omer with them as clips. And then the following week, I was telling Gary how much I enjoyed him, and he gave me 3 other sets. And again, after the show, I went down to the Down Omer, and I gave him away as prizes. And I was amazed at how many people. Oh, I'll
Good
take a
for
pair.
you.
I'll take a
Good
pair.
for you.
Gary,
Yeah.
why do you have all these sex toys?
Actually, the
What's
clips
going on
weren't
over there?
sex toys. They're regular clothespins, like for clothes.
Okay.
But because Jen was a virgin, we were
Here,
starting
they're right
easy,
here.
right?
They're
We,
just-
we
didn't
are
want
into
to
it.
invest dollars
we-
unless it was something she was interested
That's
in,
right. But we
So-
use them to clip cables, like microphone cables and stuff.
Uh-huh.
That's what. Yeah, that's right. The sex toy was actually given to me by one of our sponsors at Sex Shop in Toronto, and we just keep it around here. That's all. It's never been used. It's brand new.
Yeah, but I gave them out, and there was one guy that took them, and big, huge, burly guy, and he lifts up his T-shirt and he gets up right up on stage, and clamped his nipples right there in the bar, absolutely in front of, and then shook it like you wouldn't believe, and ran around with the clips on his nipples and was grinning the whole time he was
See?
taking them home. Yeah,
I told you.
The whole
they
time
can
she
be
was
fun.
taking him home?
That's what I
Yeah.
heard too. The whole time.
no, a slip there. There was a slip there.
A Freudian
The whole time
slip?
he was going. The whole time he was leaving.
With you? Going
no,
home?
No.
I'm going to have to go home and Google this. YouTube
clamps? You've
and
never-
see the things. Oh, no, I've heard
Oh,
of it,
the
but
ones
I
with
didn't
the
know that there
chains,
was
the
like little
chains.
chains.
Oh, yes.
And the tension, like
Yeah.
you
Yes.
had mentioned. I was telling Jen, like you can get them where there is no chain, and they just kind of hang. Okay, and they're like a stationary.
wild.
Yeah.
Then you can get them where you can tighten them as you get a little tougher and stronger in that area. You can tighten the tension, and then there's the rope for gentle pulling or aggressive pulling if that's what you like.
Yeah. Well, I that's on my wish list.
I know.
Yeah, it's on my
Maybe
wish list. I'm gonna
Christmas
go
is
and get
coming.
myself. Yeah.
Christmas is coming.
Yeah.
I give gifts out for
But
Halloween
see,
too. Maybe you'll get a pair, Jen.
But you know what? Even if I had a pair, I don't have anybody to use
I
them.
told you, yeah, but
clips.
as you experienced, you need to toughen up and work them a little bit. You need to find out first on your own what it is, what part of the
Okay.
sensation you like, then introduce it.
Or you like
to a
tie the rope
partner.
off to a doorknob and then just
Oh,
slam
and
it.
slam it. Oh, that's a whole nother subject.
Just
That's
stand
a
there
whole
slamming
no-
the door.
Open
Yeah.
and close and open and close.
Doing
right?
laundry.
All of a sudden, the kids yell out, "Stop opening and closing the door, Ma!" Right?
What are you
I
doing?
thought you lost all your teeth already.
Yeah.
Good for you, though. I'm happy to hear that you at least tried it out, Jen.
Yeah,
Right?
and it's all your fault.
I'm sorry.
That's what when
Corrupt,
I was grinning in the
corrupt.
mirror, and I was thinking, oh, Jen would be so proud of me.
Did you say, oh, Jen, while you were there, just out of curiosity?
No, I didn't say a
just
word.
Checking.
I didn't say a word, but I thought, oh, I just look ridiculous.
No, you didn't.
Clothes pegs hanging from your
Doesn't
nose.
matter how
Like I
you
said.
look; it's
Yeah.
how you feel.
I know that was my mistake. I shouldn't have done it in the mirror. It should have been okay. Like I'm going to turn and just concentrate on that. I was, the whole experience, looking at the whole experience.
I think doing it in the mirror is appropriate. As far as placing them on the first time, looking at it, feeling, checking it out. Lights on, the whole. Yeah.
Yeah.
And self-explore, but you need to see what you're doing.
Yeah, and the plastic pegs are probably better than the wooden ones because you wouldn't want to get splinters.
Yes.
Yeah. That's
And
true.
at least they've got that little bit of cushion. And the other thing
That's
I
easily
found,
remedied. All you have to do is melt a candle and dip the ends in the wax, and that's fixed.
very good.
But don't they slide off?
Yes.
No.
No. And the other thing too that I found, if the more, and I thought it would be the opposite actually, the more nipple that you grab, the less it hurts. I was, you're nodding.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jen, you played a little bit, right?
Yes.
Yeah, no.
Yes.
When you take this is not this show.
Yeah.
Come on. But okay, so when you take and you just take the edge of the nipple, yeah. For some people, though, they like that sensation.
Okay.
The deeper in.
I found
what I mean?
At the end, there was much more sensitivity.
When
it was,
right at the tip
Yes.
of the nipple
Yes.
itself. Yes, of course. There's
Yeah.
more nerve there, right? And as far as manipulation,
Right.
it's more so when our nipples are manipulated, they're more so manipulated the full on, closer to the base, the whole of the breast, not so much the very, very tip, right?
That's right.
Right?
Yeah, it makes sense,
It's
right?
a whole different,
Yeah. And the funny thing too is I've worn them in my hair as hair clips numerous times, and nobody has noticed or nobody has said anything to me.
You're starting a new trend.
Yes.
Clothes pegs in the hair, whatever.
Why not, right?
Well, nobody would know.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Yeah. Nobody even noticed, and I thought, I've got nipple clamps in my hair.
Only you
I'm
know that
dancing
there's
with
nipple
nipple
clamps.
clamps on.
Did you
I
feel
felt very
saucy?
soft. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But
Down
of course,
the
then
grocery aisle.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Hold on. You
Yeah.
said you're dancing with nipple clamps on.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that commercial. Have you guys ever seen that commercial? I'm working with diabetes. I'm traveling. How about I'm dancing with nipple clips? I'm sleeping with nipple clips. I'm gardening with nipple clips.
You do it all.
Yeah.
That's a great ad.
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah. And wearing them in my hair too. People didn't notice, but of course I had to go up and tell them.
Of course,
like,
you were
hey,
compelled to share.
Look what I got
weren't
in my
you?
hair. Okay.
Notice, say something.
Yeah, come on. Hey, come on, guys. Clamp me, will ya?
Wow, have those been on your breasts? Let me see.
Okay, so let me ask:
Yeah.
if somebody had asked you, would you have gone through the whole explanation and shown them?
It depends on who it was. The right
Keep
one?
wearing
Oh,
them in
yes.
your hair, Jen.
Yeah, that's
Keep
right.
wearing them in your hair.
The moment may come up,
It
and
will.
let me tell you.
It will.
Yeah. Yeah. It'd be
The moment may
pull
come
my
up.
clothes pegs, baby. Yeah. Okay, now, Gary, do we need to go to another commercial or?
No, because you only have 10 minutes left, right?
Okay.
So it's up to you to,
Okay, so Teresa, you wanted to talk about something earlier.
Well, I wanted to talk about all the awesome harvesting that I've been doing.
Yes.
And also the farmers market will be starting to wind down. I want to thank F&M Farms for bringing me tomatoes and peppers delivered right to my house.
Oh, it's
I got to get you some sauce still.
Oh, yes.
I want to thank my boss and a bunch of my friends that came over and helped me put in a vegetable garden.
Yes. Yeah, I saw the pictures for that. It was a very
There's
interesting
dirt all
way
over
that
my
you-
house.
Yeah.
It's just the wheelbarrow broke at the end, so we couldn't really transport what was left. So we're like, just toss it on the lawn. So it's like.
But you did it in an interesting way that I
love
had
the
not
mud.
heard of.
It's just awesome. Very easy to do community sustainability. It's very easy to put in a vegetable patch. Especially this time of year, the Thanksgiving, it takes me back to cold houses or butcher houses back in the villages in Italy. And I spend a lot of time in Italy. And you go and you share a cow, or you go and you share your produce, because a lot of the families don't have the storage for it yet. So rather than it all go to waste, everybody shares it. And with Thanksgiving around the corner and this beautiful fall weather, that's really what's been on my mind, is just all this wonderful abundance around us. It's just beautiful.
Yeah,
beautiful.
and what you did though with the garden is something that I had not ever seen before, and you used cardboard boxes and laid them. Did you dig the grass out first?
No, that helps the grass to stop to grow and is the base, basically the base for the garden, and then
soak it with water. You said,
soak
and
it
then
down.
you put dirt on top.
Yes. It was a beautiful compost was delivered.
And obviously you don't plant at this time of year.
Oh, well, I can put in some bulbs like garlic and that, but no, this will be for next summer.
Next spring, yeah,
next spring and summer.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, right next to the little fairy village is still there. Yeah, and then the random acts of kindness. I find that I mean, I have a Facebook group about random acts of kindness, but I don't put anything in there because I feel like I'm gloating. But I mean, I go out every day and purposely try to make somebody's day. Yeah. You know,
good,
and I like, and the more I do it, the more it comes to me. And it's just incredible. I can talk about this forever. Everything's a miracle. It really is.
Truly.
Really is. And again, thank you to all the listeners. I'm sorry I missed last month.
Well, we're not wrapping up
No,
yet.
I know, but
it's like
you know,
saying goodbye.
well, because I talked a lot, so that's all I had to say for now is the big thank yous. Yeah. And something really funny too. I go around putting little stickers all over the city with little messages on them.
Oh, you're kidding?
Yeah, so I have one, and this is like federal property, I guess. I'm going to be arrested now for admitting this. But on the mailbox, how many people see the mailbox? So I have a sticker note on there, smile, you're beautiful.
Oh, that's nice.
The postman's really nice, too, because he's not taking the messages off.
Isn't that
walk
neat,
by, and, hi, you're really nice. My name's so-and-so. So the next day I went back and put another sticker. Hi, I'm Teresa. So I'm having this mailbox conversation with somebody, and I just think it's the coolest thing.
That is awesome.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like I'm connected to this person. I have no idea who he is or she is or whatever, and we leave messages for each other.
Now, are you leaving actual stickers with messages, or like stickers,
you just
the Post-its?
you just go buy those little white labels.
Yeah,
and you write, and I just stick
the
them
hi,
everywhere.
my name is, right?
I stick them everywhere. I walk around all over the city putting messages at least once a week.
Good for you.
From
Spread the word.
Smile, you're beautiful, to somebody loves you, to did you do something nice for yourself today?
Yeah.
Call your mother.
Just important things.
Yeah.
Important things
Spreading
to
the
hear,
word,
right?
Yeah.
This is me.
Yeah.
Good for
This
you.
is me.
That's nice.
I had
I'm going to be looking now.
Quirky. Just
I'm going to be
Yeah,
looking.
that's right.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, I
I'm
know.
going to
Oh,
be
and I also
sticker
want to
up there.
mention Karma Studio, 20 Simcoe Street it's a new meditation, hair care, and yoga center run by a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful woman. Her name is Monica, and please stop.
I know
stop.
Monica.
Yes.
Yeah, beautiful woman.
Stop and meditation, yoga, and right now for the month of October, she's actually, and we were talking about this before, not putting a monetary value to what works for you. Yeah. She's offering free haircuts.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
For the whole month of October. Well, donations welcome, of course. Most people will leave a nice donation when they see that. That's
but
been
it's
my
nice
experience.
if someone can't afford it, that they can go
Exactly. Go in and get it.
Exactly.
Nice.
Yeah. And similar to your sticker thing, I was part of a group one time, and what we did is we, with a Sharpie, a black marker, we wrote on gray stones different messages, and then we had to leave them in areas around the city for people to find. And some of them I could check on, and they were gone. And I thought somebody took that time to pick it up, to bring it home. And again, it was like that, just that positive message, that hopefully meant something to somebody during the day. And some of them may still not. And I thought, what a neat thing. I'd almost like to go to the beach and write, on a whole bunch of rocks,
nice.
You are beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Just something like that, and just place them everywhere for people to find.
Did you hear about the message in the bottle? They found a bottle from what? Like 1908 or something?
Oh, wow.
No.
Oh, I forget the story now. Maybe I'll prepare it for next time.
Please do. I'm intrigued.
Out there are like, what happened?
There was a message. Stay tuned.
But
that's cruel. That's very cruel.
My bad.
That's okay.
Hey, did you hear about the alien in Texas?
We'll tell you next time.
I didn't hear about that one.
Hey, did you hear what Jennifer did with her nipple clamps again? Reasons for people to come back, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, I guess it is almost that time. It goes so fast, but we want to thank all of our listeners, of course, and Karen. Thanks for being on and plug your stuff. I know you've got a few things going on.
Yeah, I'm booked solid right now till the middle of November. I'm leaving October 26th and headed to BC to do the Mind, Body, Spirit show out there on the November 1st to the 3rd. I'm a speaker there, and we're doing some media work and things like that. So hopefully we'll be getting some media exposure. Just booked solid.
So will you be on next month's show then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be back.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be back in time. I'm home on the 5th. I think the next show is the 6th.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, so I'll be here.
Yeah.
And just working, just lots of stuff. Just book solid. I'm book solid. I can't even take anything on right now.
And your website.
Yep, www.betweendreams.ca. My Facebook is Between Dreams. That's about it for me for LinkedIn and all that stuff, but I'd hardly ever go there. Like, whatever.
You kind of find one social media site and kind of stick to it.
Well, it works,
it could be so,
right?
Yeah, and it could be so time consuming, all these sites.
It does, absolutely. But I go there to make connections, obviously, right? So I actually just joined spiritualnetworks.com as well, because I know that's my thing, and I just want to get myself out there even that much more. But
good for you.
Other than that, I'm working girl. Working girl.
Very good.
Girl.
And Amanda, thank you for. We're so glad that you're back. And
I'm back.
You're back. That turtle thing. For those of you that missed
I can't do it anymore.
But go on our first show. It's worth listening. To find it. When Amanda imitated that turtle, it's absolutely. Yeah, it's close, right?
It's ridiculous, is what it is.
Yeah, and again, it's on our YouTube, SexByHazzard Z, and you can hear her imitating a turtle. Yeah, and
that's what I'm good for, right?
Thanks,
Jen.
much more than that.
Let's hear how you really are.
Yeah.
What?
That's what we're waiting for.
Yeah.
And congratulations to Nancy for winning. I've heard you sing before, and I really need to make it out to the Down-Omer sometime and actually see you again.
Oh, thank
and
you.
it's really nice to meet you, Jenny.
It was nice to meet you as well.
For sure.
And
yes.
congrats for
Yes.
sure.
You.
That's a beautiful victory there.
And your daughter's marriage, it's just been wonderful. Everything's just been awesome.
Busy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And your Sugar My Skin?
www.sugarmyskin.com. I do all natural body sugaring. I wrap gemstones and crystals. I can fashion anything you think about it. I can make it for you. You can wear your feelings for sure.
Yeah. And Jenny, thank you for coming back.
Thank you for having me again. It was great.
Yeah.
Yes, I like it here.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
what
do you think, ladies? Regular.
I like her sultry voice.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, and a short notice. Hey, you feel like coming tomorrow?
I'm good for that. I'm okay. That's good. I told you that works for me. Yeah. For sure.
I'll have to listen in tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh no, she was on a couple weeks ago.
Oh,
and you mean
tomorrow
you meant
you have Lynn?
Yes,
No.
Yes.
You meant as far as calling me yesterday and arranging. Yes,
that's
of course.
right.
Anytime.
That's right.
Anytime.
Very good.
I can even do 20 minutes notice.
Okay.
As you know, remember the first time.
Oh no, kidding. Get here.
Yeah.
Can you get here? Hurry up.
I can be there. I'm here. And there I was.
Yeah, no kidding. And now you've got a month's notice.
Yes.
So there you go.
Oh yes. I would love to be here again. I would love to spend the evening with you ladies and all our listeners.
Yes, very good. And Gary.
And Gary, of course. What would it be without Gary?
Thank you.
Yeah. And Nancy, I know you've got. I saved you for last.
Thanks.
I skipped around a little bit because I know you've got a lot to.
Well, tomorrow I'm doing a lunch and learn for the Ajax Pickering Board of Trade on understanding what your employees are communicating with their behavior and how to deal with that. I have a workshop this weekend at Tranquil Gardens on healing the relationship with self. I just set up a retreat at the AS Durham Region Awareness Center for October 19th. It's mindfulness and meditation. It is such a beautiful spot, and we're going to be doing learning and practicing indoors and outdoors. And I got other stuff coming up too. I was just last weekend, I was on a radio show with a woman named Elaine Jackson, who is a project management professional. I met her, connected with her on LinkedIn, and we talked about change in the brain and studying, preparing. If anybody has a chance to go and listen, she is also on Blog Radio. So if you get a chance and you want to go listen to that, if you're studying for any exam, it can give you some insightful information there. So I did that recently as well. So that's available now.
So where can people find a lot more of this information, or what's your website?
NancyDranitsaris.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
And again, on the ladies...
Or my Facebook page, Nancy Dranitsaris, psychotherapist and counselor.
Okay.
Yeah, there's lots of strivingstyles.com. caliberleadership.com, mindfultherapies.com. I'm on all of those.
Okay.
Yes. So I wear a lot of hats.
Yeah.
But it's all about awareness, baby.
And we forgot to mention that KC was in the studio.
Oh my gosh.
Nancy's boyfriend. Is he still there, Gary?
He's studying.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, he's here.
Can we get him to just do a quick Dodge Ram? I mean, it just wouldn't be the same without it. And phenomenal voice on this man too. He did a fabulous job in the contest, and very talented. So here we go, our famous KC.
All right, you're gonna have to come up with something else I can do, because variety is the spice of life.
Yeah.
But I know you like this one. Hang on.
Yeah.
Dodge Ram Tough.
Yeah, maybe next month we can get him to sing one of his original songs.
That'd be great. He actually does that better than Sam Elliott.
Oh, no kidding.
He does.
He does a good Sam Elliott.
Yeah. And he is a songwriter, and I've heard a lot of his original songs too. So definitely, instead of a song of the week, Casey, what do you think? Will you do it for us? Will you come in and sing next live one of your songs? He's closing his...
Yes, I will.
Oh, very good. Yay. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, and of course next Wednesday it's the boys' night in, same time slot, 8 to 10. Tomorrow night at 10:30 is Sex by Hazard as well. I've got Del Morgado puts up our YouTube videos for us. His show is on Tuesdays from 9 to 10, as well as he is part of the boys as well. So we really, really thank him for. Doing this for us and all that he's done. Listen to his show. It's certainly quite funny. And he can be found, there's a link on mine where you can listen to his shows as well. And Gary, I want to thank you too for
You're welcome. Thank you, ladies, all of you.
All the women in the room.
No, it was wonderful. Very interesting, very enlightening.
I brought cappuccino nanamo bars.
No. Oh.
There's some here.
Yeah.
Help
Great.
yourselves.
I will.
Yeah, we're supposed to feed Gary, and we never
That's
do.
Okay.
We're just okay.
No.
Next time, since there's 6 of us. Yeah, yeah, that's right. You brought in Sinatra coupons for sandwiches
and sandwiches.
Yes, no kidding, eh?
My reward is just staring at all you ladies.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Good night, Gary.
Oh, baby.
Yes, and thank you, of course, to our listeners, everyone, for listening in.
Thank you, listeners.
First Wednesday of the month, we will be back, and the show, of course, will be on the YouTube channel as well. So good night, everyone, and thank you.
Good night, ladies. Thank you
Good
again.
night.
Bye.
You've been listening to Ladies Night In and Out with your host, Jen Hazzard. Right here, Reality Radio 101. Coming up, it's the best pop and rock music ever recorded. Right here on your internet radio station, Reality Radio 101.
Cubiscuits are eyes, black feathers and red boots. Well, cut the strings and let me loose. Part of me wants to be loved. This side of me wants to be burned.